I'm so excited to be doing this one today. It is the most streamed song in UK Spotify history. The Killers and Mr. Brightside, a band that I've seen many times with my wife. We're huge fans. I think we went when she was pregnant and we had to sit far away because it was very loud. But it was awesome. So looking forward to doing this for you. Also, our little boy has had a mega cold, so I've just got a little bit of that going on today. It's a huskiness that I like to bring to proceedings. But anyway, I'm going to crack on and I'm going to run you through Mr. Brightside, starting off with that main riff, the all-important one, which most videos, I must say, teach wrong. I spent a long time watching the guitarist Dave Koenig and how he plays it, and this is the way that he actually does it. So just to give you a little flavour of the sound that I've got going on, I've got a little bit of reverb on, bridge pickup, and I've just knocked it back a tiny bit from my sort of epic rock sound that I usually use. Taking it down from 10 to about 8, just to give it a little bit more of an indie sound, so hopefully that's just a little helpful guide. We're up on the 17th fret, and we're using this shape, which is very, very hard to play. The best way you can get this, what Dave does when he plays it, is he holds the guitar at this kind of angle, which gives you that space to play this E string. Another note to say before we get too involved is this is in E flat tuning, so it's tuned down a semitone. I have created a video of the Killers Mr. Brightside tuned to E. If you can't be bothered to come out of standard tuning, that is available to you. The tab will work with that. But let's play on. So fret 17, and you're going to do that with the second finger on your A string. Over to fret 16 with the first finger. So that's these two notes. Fret 19 with your little one. And then this 17th fret with the third on the B string. So this is your chord essentially. And that open string is going to be hugely, hugely important. So you've got to leave space for it. One other trick which I've learned is that if you bring your thumb round really far, like really a long way around, rather than having it underneath, bring it round far. It seems to help that shape stay in place and it helps you clear the E string. Now the other thing to mention is the picking pattern, which is massively important in this riff. And there's also a few open strings that come into play, open D strings, which I'll highlight for you as we go through the riff. Let's not worry about the picking pattern to start with though. Let's just go for the notes and run it through. So we're going to start with this 17th fret. Open string. And then you move your bottom two fingers away and play an open string. So run it through again. And you're moving down to the 16th fret and you're barring your first finger across. And then you're moving again. And this is what I think is the hardest one to play, to maintain the finger shape and also to keep the E string free. And then we go back up for this again. So that gets played around 5 times. Now let's talk about the picking pattern here. Hugely important if you want to be able to play this easily. The picking pattern that Dave Koenig uses is actually really cool and really, really important. So you start with an up pick, which is very counterintuitive. Most riffs start with a down, but you start with an up here. And then you play the next 2 notes with a down. Then you come back with an up. The open string is a down pick. And that gives it an emphasis which it needs for this riff, because that is the kind of special thing that makes this riff work so well. And then up, up, up. So that's like a sweep across really. Really nice way of playing it, and actually it makes it a lot easier to play. Also, that open string gives you time to change to the next shape. Although my mind does not want to start each phrase with an up pick, so I find it really hard to do the open string followed by the up pick on the next one. but I will endeavour to get it right for you here. So the other special thing to mention is that once you've come down to this 15th fret with your first finger, you don't have an open string because you're not moving, so the shape stays the same. And then you do get the open string again before it returns. What I would highly recommend, because it's quite hard to play when you're sitting down like this, is actually leaning the guitar into this kind of position. I have to change camera angles here so you can see what I'm on about. Like this, it's a lot easier to play. Man alive, that took a long time to get, but stick with it. And I tell you as well, if you keep going and you kind of get the pace up when you're practicing the rhythm, you can actually get it a lot faster, up to speed. It's very easy to make a few little mistakes in there, but if you do persevere, you will get there eventually. It's just a really, really tough riff, this one. I think it's worth pausing there because for such a tough main riff, for one that involves so many different picking changes and open strings and managing to get it round and round, you're just going to want to practice that over and over again. Gradually increase the speed until you can completely nail it. Then try and do it a little bit lower on the guitar. I mean, I'm actually finding it quite tough to play it like this still. You're going to need to stretch your hands here. You're going to want a free stretch, I'm telling you now, because this one involves some big, big shapes with the hand. So just to give you the general chord structure here, we're tuned down to E flat, as I said, but this is a B in normal tuning. And then we're doing this open, this A shape with the thumb. And then we're doing this huge stretch down to the G. I'll show you how clever it is though now, because it continues the open E string that we've had in the main riff from the beginning of the song. You'll remember this bit. So this bridge section maintains that open E. So the first chord is this B. It's like a jazzy B. You're going to use your second finger, your little finger, and then your first finger on the 5th fret of the B string. So it's this. And there's open strings in the middle, so the picking pattern is the same as the main riff as well. So it goes like this. So follow that along with the tab. Open. 7th fret with that 4th finger. Open again. Make sure that's an up pick. You're doing that sweep across. So after this down, it's all ups. And then the next thing you do is you do your thumb. Leave that 4th finger down. But change, this is the exclamation mark, 2nd finger on that 5th fret. Very weird shape, which you wouldn't normally do, but the reason why will become obvious when we change to the next chord down, which is the G. So that pattern again, same picking pattern. So if you watch any kind of behind the scenes videos of Dave Koenig playing this bit, he starts to make the move on the second time the pattern's played. So watch my hand very carefully here. And he starts to reach early, and then you've got this G with the first finger, but you're leaving this open here on this D string. And your Fourth finger still stuck on that fret. Second finger on that 5th fret on the B. And then you come back up again for the repeat with the B. Thumb, second finger. Then down to this G. So when you're doing this G shape, when you're doing that open string, use that to move back when you're doing the repeats. So this is quite easy. We're going to go up to the 11th fret with our first finger on the G string. Now I would do this with the 3rd finger. But that's not what Dave Koenig does, so we're going to tell you what he does. He does the 2nd finger squished. And he does a lot of vibrato live especially, so it's like it's kind of like this. And that last note is not really picked properly, it's kind of like a chance to move. Because he moves down to this. But just to run you through the picking as well, down, up, which I never would have guessed. So this bit is a 3-1 in the fingers, 1-1, slide, 1-2. And then you do not squish the fingers here, you do this with a 3-2. And then you slide up. And then the next bit, I'll just run it through here as well. This is where it kind of gets quite exciting because you've got a rising triplet section which sounds like this. And then you've got so again, the picking pattern really matters here. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So then squish your 3rd finger. And then it's a 4-3 and a 1 on this 15th, 14th and 12th fret. And then you slide down here. Then you repeat it again. And then on the album version it does this. And then you pause, but on the record there's a second guitar as well which does the same thing round again. I'd recommend actually if you're playing it live to do this upper little shape because it's quite nice. And that's the end of page 1 of our tab pretty much. There's a little bit of a solo repeat section that follows this, which is this part again. You repeat that twice, and then we head back into the intro with an up pick to start, always the up. Make sure you the bridge section repeats, which we've done before in our video part 2. Thumb and 2nd finger change over. And then reach down with that 3rd fret. Pretty tough, eh? That repeats twice round. That video is available to you if you want to check it out. Then we've got the mini solo line repeating here. Oh yeah, don't squash the finger. That's the fingering pattern for that. That comes around twice. Then we've got those rising triplet sections that we did before. And then... So this is the I would describe as the real solo of the song, slightly different to what we've had before. There's a little bit of vibrato in one of them. So this bit, Dave Koennig does a lot of vibrato there, and then it comes down. That repeats around a second time, and then we're on to page 3 of the tab. And then we've got this kind of outro section, which reverts to the previous easier version of the solo. Now the only difference is that's played around 3 times. The only difference is that at the very last time of the song, you don't actually hear the guitar doing that, you just hear chords instead. And this is done live as well by Dave Koennig. So you've got the D, G, but without the second finger in the A strings. Quite a plain sound. No top string either. B minor. And then you do this A variant where you've got this E in the top. And that's the end of the song. The Killers, Mr. Brightside. I hope you enjoyed that because it was a bit of a mission to work it out. There's lots of tabs that get it wrong in lots of different ways. But I enjoyed doing it for you, and I hope you enjoyed playing along here. If you want more, please subscribe, and we'll keep doing what we're doing. We're so nearly at 1,000 now. I think we're going to get there. It's going to be YouTube official, baby. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you in a different video on this here channel. But do subscribe.